Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2026. I'm going to keep things modest for this first review of the year because I am a little bit sickly. I have got a sore throat and my nose is a little sniffly, but I still feel like I'm like 95% there. So what are we doing today? Well, I'm going to review the first Flor de Caña of the channel. What do I think about Flor de Caña? You know that there were people in high school, there were guys in high school that you just kind of formed no opinion about. They were kind of there. You were aware of them. You might have talked to them a few times. Maybe they even got in a little bit of trouble and you heard about it. But they still had some, you had friends that were friends of theirs. But, it just never... There's just never any connection. Then maybe one day you wake up and you're reading through the local news and you notice that, oh, this person is still living here. And they just came out with the book of photography. And you're like, oh, that's good person I never really had any connection to in high school. Good for you with your book of photography. That's kind of where I am with Flor de Caña. What they have always kind of been at their core is a way to get a very, very good imitation of Cuban-style rum, kind of Havana club-style rum, if you're stuck in the U.S. and you cannot get access to embargoed materials. That is what they've been at their core. If you really, really want something Cuban and you're stuck in the U.S., you can go buy Flor de Caña 7 or whatever that is. Beyond that, a couple of years ago, they had some really, really egregiously terrible labor conditions, and that's really, really bad. And then they went and cleaned themselves up, got themselves fair trade certified, and went through all those, labor certifications, and that's good. And then a few years ago, they obfuscated their age statements. Hilariously so, and that's very, very bad. And but maybe a year or two ago they changed them back, and that's very, very good. And throughout all of this, I really couldn't be bothered to care because everything they came out with was bottled at 40% alcohol by volume, and I felt like you could just kind of do better. But this snuck its way onto the shelves at the end of last year. And I find this very interesting. This is Flor de Caña 17. It is a limited release. And they bottled this at a quote-unquote high proof of 43.5% alcohol by volume. Amazing, I know. So it felt like this would be a good occasion to finally, pop one open and try it. So that's in the glass. Needs a sparring partner, though. And for that, we're heading a little bit west. I'm messing up my geography. West El Salvador. This is a Rum Artesanal bottling. One of the first they did. They bottled this back in 2019, but you can find other Salvadoran bottles like this. They do not identify the distillery. They call it a secret distillery. However, so far as I'm aware, there's still only one distillery of any size in El Salvador, which is Cihuatán. I'm sorry, there's an accent, so I have to put the emphasis there. Only founded about 20 years ago or so, but making some interesting stuff. And so 46.3%, a little bit stronger than Nicaraguan. This is distilled November 2008, cask number 3, just under 11 years old, 10 years old. And seems like, you will notice the difference in color. I don't know where the Salvadoran was aged, but I'm guessing most of it was on the continent, but I'm not really sure. Anyways, let us stick our noses into this and see what we got. Little column-distilled molasses battle. Flor de Caña first. I mean, it just smells like a fine example of a Cuban style rum. Like, that's what it smells like. You hand this to me and tell me this is Havana Club or one of those, like, I'm going to believe you. Because that's where we are. We are getting kind of boiled down RC Cola, a lot of coffee, like musty coffee grinds, but nice. A little bit of banana peel. Mild industrial notes. A little bit of kind of rubber cement character. A little bit of that's not chocolate. Tootsie Roll. A little bit of Tootsie Roll. There's more colas in this than just RC. I think there's some Pepsi in here too, because it's got a really intense vanilla note. Mild spicy stuff. A little hint of ground pepper. A little hint of cinnamon. But overall, yeah, you're in Cuba, even though you're not. You are in Cuba. That's what this smells like. I'm looking for tobacco. Yeah, there's tobacco, but it's not like I immediately look for cigars. There's not really a cigar note on this. There's a little bit of like a black Cavendish thing. Nice. I mean, it's nailing the style. Let's go with that. On the palate. Flor de Caña swears on their website and on their press releases about this that there is no sugar added. But I swear, like, there is a syrupiness in the back end. It's not bad. We're not like, we're not into Diplomatico territory here. But, you know, I would have guessed like maybe 5 grams of sugar per liter. Because it's just a little cloying in the back end. So that's the bad news. The good news is it's not really getting in the way. Stylistically, kind of the same on the nose as on the nose. You're mixing RC Cola, maybe a little bit of like a dash of Pepsi in there, mixing that all around with some like kind of boiled down hotel lobby coffee, but nice. Maybe some musty tea leaves. Banana peel. Dirty pencil eraser. More black pepper on the palate. A little more cinnamon on the palate as well. Kind of a toasted herbs thing. Hard to nail down. But kind of interplaying with the coffee elements. That's a tobacco note. Yeah, so you're getting black Cavendish, but you're also getting a slightly herbaceous side. Maybe a little touch of, let's say, Oriental tobaccos thrown in there as well, but very, very subtle. You know, more presenting as just a little touch of green. I mean, certainly not a profound rum by any means. Yeah, finishes okay. Like the coffee bitterness and a little bit of the pepper, the oak tannins, they stick around, but a lot of the other stuff is gone pretty soon. Some of the kind of Pepsi, RC Cola florals, they fade pretty quickly. I mean, they stick around longer than some of the other stuff, but it's not a great finish. A ton of length to it. It's got decent enough texture, you know, for the style, but it's not it's not dominating my mouth by any means. That being said, it does feel like the extra 3.5% are helping with this, so that's good. Let's give this a little water. We'll come back to it. I don't know. It tastes like a Cuban rum. That's what it tastes like to me. That's basically what you're getting here, is Cuba by another name. All right, let's try this guy though. This is the first Salvadoran rum I have ever tasted. Let's see what we got here. Rum Artesanal. More floral, a little more weird. Yeah. So this is 46.3%, and I think that's helping on the nose. So it's you're getting some daisies, you're getting a little bit of a potpourri thing, blossoms. But yeah, you are also getting a kind of cola floral thing. We are more on Pepsi with this. Yeah, straight up Pepsi, vanilla. A little bit of a cold brew coffee thing. So similar kinds of flavor notes. Also some interesting fruity notes on this too, though. There's some like a raspberry thing, a little bit. Like a dirty raspberry that's been soaking in cold brew coffee. More banana, like a little bit of like a lemon peel thing, maybe like a subtle kiwi thing. More florals. I'm looking for industrial notes on this, and I'm not really getting them. It's very, very clearly column-distilled molasses. You're not missing that, like on a blind. But it's not bringing the subtle industrial, burning rubber notes that I associate more with this style, and that's okay. Hard to pull out much more. Some white pepper, allspice, cinnamon, a little bit of tobacco in this too, but we're more in a sort of. I mean, this one is actually bringing cigar. Honestly, more. Not Nicaraguan. We're more in like Dominican cigar with this. A little bit more on the floral side. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Smells fresher, a little bit fruitier on the palate. Yeah, same kind of vibe as on the nose. Stylistically, we're in the same world. This is just kind of a fresher, fruitier version. Lots more cinnamon on the palate, actually. So yeah, cinnamon, orange, lemon, lime on the front end especially. Florals, Pepsi, banana peel. The little tobacco, little you got your Dominican cigars again, but you're also getting a little bit of like a bright leaf Virginia on this. Sorry, I'm a tobacco nerd. Vanilla, white pepper. I mentioned the cinnamon increase thing, right? Yeah, more cinnamon, a little bit more allspice as well. I mean, this is, on the palate, at least without, before adding water, this just has more presence to it, which, you would expect. It's an extra, 3-odd percent alcohol, right? Yeah. Brighter, fresher, with a little bit more grip on it. But that being said, if you are more on the coffee and industrial accent side of things, you might still like the Flor de Caña better. But water will tell the tale on these. All right. One more time. Back to the Flor de Caña 17. Okay. Gets more musty with water. Now we're really in like a waterlogged cellar with like a imagine a someone's cigar cellar, which kind of had a bad storm and it's all like a little muggy. I mean, that's a nightmare, but that's kind of what it smells like. It smells like waterlogged cigar cellar. Damp wood, damp coffee. I know they had the Flor de Caña had their problems with the age statements before. But this, I would believe, is actually 17 years old. I don't think it's not showing its age in like a deep, profound way. It just smells like old wood, and that's fine. A little bit more earthiness, ground pepper, but more on the the earthy side of the pepper than the spicy side, if that makes any sense. Okay, on the palate. Okay. Mouth presence firms up a little bit. I mean, the finish is still not my favorite. It's still really... there's some fun stuff on the palate that I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying, chewing on the pencil eraser. I'm enjoying some of the subtle RC Cola fruit on this, the vanillas, the flowers. And they all fade away pretty quickly, and they're kind of replaced with a sort of, tannins and peppery stuff. And that's fine, but I wish the other stuff would stick around a little longer. That said, with water, the texture is better. Not by a huge amount, but we're definitely just it's sort of coating and massaging my mouth a little bit more. A little bit more. Not a profound rum by any means. I wouldn't even go out of my way to call this a good rum, but it's an okay rum. It feels like a step in the right direction for these folks. So you know what? I'm going to give this an 82 plus. And yeah, if you are in the U.S. and you really want a rum from Nicaragua, or for that matter, a rum from Cuba, you could do a lot worse than this. Flor de Caña 17, 82 plus points. Let's move on. Back to the Rum Artesanal. No, that hasn't really changed much on the nose. Maybe a little bit more of an orange peel thing. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's still... we're in the category of multi-column distilled molasses-based rum, but we're on the kind of fruitier side of that. That's all this is. Nice. Maybe a little cardamom sneaking in on the palate. Also steps up on, well, the finish and also the texture. More peppery, but in a way that where it kind of keeps in balance. More grippy than it was. Flavor notes are pretty much exactly the same. You're just getting a better delivery of them with a little bit of water thrown in. And it's hard for me to think of more to say about this. It's a really good, legitimately good. I think this one just steps its foot over into good territory and out of okay territory. Rum. I will call this. It also gets a plus. I'll give this an 83 plus. 83 plus for the Rum Artesanal. This is still around. You should still be able to get this. And if you can't get this, there are going to be other batches or other bottlings from the same batch out there. And yeah, that is the video. 82 plus for the Flor de Caña 17. If you're in the market for something in the Cuban style, in the U.S., on U.S. shelves, why not? And yeah, 83 plus for this. Worth a look. Thanks for watching. And cheers.